guys, Anna here. Welcome to today's video. So today we are in the world of Oasis Springs and we are building a Spanish kind of Mediterranean inspired home. And this is a home that I did design on grid paper for the floor plan. So that is kind of why I've gone in with the wall tool as opposed to the room tool. I usually do go in with the room tool. So we're just kind of mapping out where that floor plan is. So this is a very spacious 4x1 bedroom home that has a full kind of large outdoor entertaining area, but it also has a side courtyard. So where you can see here, that's the side courtyard. And we are just starting with that floor plan because obviously this was done on grid paper, so it came about very quickly for me. So let's talk a little bit about this floor plan. So what we do is we walk into the build. We have a large open area to the side of the left-hand side of the build, which you're seeing here. So that is your living quarters. It has your dining, living room, and kitchen all in one. And then you have that side courtyard with the master bedroom. Then you go down the hall towards the right side of the build, and that's where all your bedrooms are. So in this home, we have 2 teen rooms. We have a girls and a boys teen room. We then have a kind of like a twin child's room, which I've kind of made maybe for a male sim, sorry, but it's pretty neutral, like you could go either way. And then I have a small kind of like a skill room and then a bathroom and an office. So we are just moving into the roofing. The roofing of this one came about fairly simple. I did have a reference picture for this build. So the reference picture really allowed me to build the front section of this build. So where you're seeing the archways and the high pitched roof, that was really important to me. I then went in with this paving, and that paving sets the tone of the build. So we've got the courtyard here that we're working on now with these fences. These terracotta fences were beautiful. I actually really extend that side fencing part here. I think I might be doing it right here. No, I'm extending the back rooms because I wanted more shape to the back of the build. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes, you focus a little bit too much on the front and then the back looks a little flat. So then, the best way to do it is obviously to add bump outs, but then adding bump outs alters your floor plan. So bear in mind, it is always good to make sure that your build looks good, but then make sure your floor plan is not affected. So this is where I saw this side fence and went, I'm going to need to join them together because it looked a little bit, it just didn't look right. So I've made this one big massive garden, kind of like a garden bed, and we do actually clutter that with plants. So we're just going in with some fencing all around the build. I thought this was really important. This kind of home felt like it would be a home that would be sectioned off. I did want to connect the stone fencing to the wooden fencing for the side courtyard, so I thought that was really good. And then we go in with the roofing. So we're using obviously the Mediterranean roofing tile. I'm so excited to use this. I never get to use this because I don't build a lot of these style homes, but I had the most fun. I think the decorating is the bit I really struggled with, potentially because it's not really the design that I often build. So I think I did okay. However, the Jungle Adventure Pack was really solid for this. And that game pack really helped a lot of plants and objects, and a lot of those items to me kind of gave a Spanish type feel. I could be wrong. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below what you think of the decorating of this home. But yeah, I think it's a nice build regardless. And it's a very spacious home. Being 4x1, I could have made it a 4x2. I think it actually would maybe function a little better as a 4x2. So if you do choose to download this house, it will be a lot on the gallery, but all my information is in the description box below. You could remove the skill room and make that a second bathroom. And I think the reason I didn't do that is because the bathrooms would have been very close together in the house, and it didn't really make sense for me to have like 2 bathrooms that were really close together. I could have actually added an ensuite to the master. So the master bedroom in this home is very spacious. It's quite large. I could have, but I think what I did with the master bedroom is amazing. It is my favorite room of the house. You will see that shortly. We are just painting the walls. I went with stucco. I don't know if stucco would be the type of material you'd use. I don't normally use it, but I felt that it really gave that kind of vibe, that Spanish type of vibe. I even took inspiration from EA builds, guys. I really just did not know how I wanted to make this look thematic, because that was really important to me. I didn't want to build a house that wasn't. And I think one of the kits that really helped was the country kitchen kit. Surprisingly, has a lot of assets that I think really went well. So we did start with the base game. I think it's the antique wooden flooring. We do change though. So how I've created this living space. So I've started with this kind of half wall tiled section, and this is strictly where the kitchen is, right? Then you have, so it's obviously an archway that enters into this living space. You then have the dining room where that bay window section is, and then you have a small living room. And it's interesting because as you can see how big this house is when you're seeing as I'm placing doors, like I definitely could have maybe had a separate living room. It is big enough for that. But I feel like with the Spanish theme, they're very like family orientated. They're very like communal, like when I think about, those type of themes. So to me, I feel that it made sense to have like an area. And that's kind of what I like in game as well. Like I like to play with like one communal space because it's just easier for your Sims. They don't have to walk as far, and you're not loading, it doesn't take as much effort. It's easier if they're all in the one space. That's just my opinion. But yeah, so we are just, I think, moving into the landscaping. I used kind of like a pale dirt because I felt that being in Oasis Springs, it wouldn't make sense to use such a really stark dirt. But I definitely could have, because this is in that greenery section of the world. It's up near where all those other Mediterranean houses are. So I've gone in with these large windows. I could have really gone with the kind of mission style windows that came with base game. That would definitely have fit this type of style. But I wanted to go with these because I felt that they flooded the house more with light, and I really wanted that because it was such an open home. So let's talk a little bit about the entrance of this home. So archways were very important. If I knew anything about that kind of Spanish design, archways had to be everywhere in this build, which is great because that's what I love. I love archways. I use them in my suburban homes. I use them in all homes. I think they're great. We use a lot of tiling, a lot of terracotta colors, a lot of stone. What else did I do? Even the foundation is kind of wood. So there's different textures, lots of different textures and colors. I really enjoyed how the color of this staircase matches with the colors of the pathing. And then I went with a lot of beige as opposed to white. And I thought that really was an important design choice as well, because I didn't feel that this was the type of home that would have a lot of white in it. I think the beige kind of gives it that more desert type vibe. And yeah, so we do just make, I think, the roof a bit darker. And then I'm just putting in stairs to the courtyard. And I went in with the Desert Luxe kit. Sliding doors, wow, I forgot that for a second. I went with that because I thought that was really inviting. Like it opens you out to that space, which is really good. So originally I thought, do I put a pool? Now, obviously it's in Oasis Springs, so a pool is always welcome in this climate because this place gets very warm. But instead I went with a hot tub, which doesn't make any sense. But you'll see when we look over to the other side of the entertainment space how large it is. If you were so wish to download this home, again, you could change that. You could alter that and maybe put all of the entertainment side in the courtyard and then make a pool. You could definitely do that. I sized up a debug car. I felt that, we had this big space in the driveway to do so. The original reference picture did have a full garage. Again, I don't like putting garages in Sims homes because we don't have cars. I just think it's a waste of space. I did, however, do it one time in, I think it was like a mid-century home that I had built, but I didn't actually use it for a garage. It just was like a faux garage. I think it was actually a bathroom. It was very interesting. That's a good build. I'll link that at the end of this one. I struggled with landscaping. This was the type of home where I had no idea what type of landscaping I wanted. So I just went with what I knew. I went with palm trees because that was what was in the area. I went with daisies, hydrangeas. I went with these yellow flowers. I really thought that these fit the bill. But I'm also kind of looking around me and around in the world of Oasis Springs and seeing what was using. These kind of flowers were used. So what I've done is I've sized them up, filled this section, and then loaded tons of these pink flowers in amongst them. And I think it looks really well. I was really stuck. I didn't really know what to do, but I think that it turned out okay. I think it gives you a little bit of focal interest to the back of the build, which is always nice to have. But I think it's also not too overbearing to the building. I think you still look at the building and it complements the building. Went in with a lot of lavenders, a lot of purples in this build, and I thought that that was because of Oasis Springs. They use a lot of lavenders, those pink flowers, azaleas, and those types. So as you can see, I really struggled. So I went into debugged and I grabbed a whole range of flowers, and then I just placed them in this front lawn, and I was like, okay, how am I going to place them? How am I going to decorate this? Went in with some aloe plants and some rock, and yeah, so I think it looks okay. And then we started kind of really discovering the Jungle Adventure game pack and all of these pots and pans and all of these pots and flowers, and they're just so beautiful. That 50 simoleon plant that comes in like that pot, and it's like a greenery plant. It's my favorite plant in the game at the moment. I put it in all of my homes. So for the next 2 weeks, you will see a lot of that plant. Apologies ahead of time, but I'm just obsessed with it. All right, let's get into the decorating. So we're going to start with that living quarters. We're going to start with the kitchen. We are using the Jungle Adventure counters. I think they're beautiful. I really love the tone. This kind of set the tone of the color scheme of the build as well. And I think that that's what a kitchen does. And I think that's why it's really important to start with a living space. It could be a living room, it could be a kitchen, it could be a dining. It just sets the tone. So we use a combination of the Jungle Adventure game pack and the country kitchen kit. That's a tongue twister. And I really liked this little space. I thought it was a cute little wraparound kitchen. It's got everything you need. But these cabinets from that kit were absolutely amazing. They were paramount. They brought in a bit of that green because I wanted a color that was kind of a bit dated and muted, but that would fit in with the beige and middle tone wood tone. Because when I was kind of researching about these type of homes, because I was really struggling with design, there's a lot of these kind of muted tones, but they use a lot of wood tones. So I wanted to find something that was complementary to that. So we actually did a backsplash. And when I did this backsplash, this is from Jungle Adventure, this backsplash, I really, really loved it. So the blue played with the counters, but then I also saw the orange in the tile, and I thought, why don't we actually make a more orange tile flooring? So we did change the flooring. This is just a base game one, I believe. And I think it looks better. I think it matches with that backsplash really well. And it just kind of, it takes, I don't know, this has kind of, I want to say, looks a little bit more Moroccan. It's very interesting, but that was the Jungle Adventure game pack that really kind of gave it that Brazilian kind of South American type vibe, which I live for. It looks beautiful. It's a beautiful home, but I don't know if it's Spanish, but you guys will have to let me know. But anyway, I think it is a beautiful home. I just tried to find clutter options that were, of that color scheme that we were doing. I used the tea set from the Wedding Stories pack. I always forget that this tea set exists. I think it's such a cute little piece of gameplay. We used some of the everyday clutter kit in here, just going in with, and I thought it was sweet that we had like a little breakfast dining. We do have a formal dining table, which we'll be getting into in a minute, but this was really important just to like fill that space. And of course, gonna have my chopping boards. And yeah, it's just a beautiful kitchen. I really am happy with this kitchen and how it turned out. So I went in with an orange rug because I wanted to bring a little bit more orange to the build, because I went with Wedding Stories bouquet plant for the table, and that had some orange in it, so I wanted to pair that. All right, so we've gone in with the Wedding Stories chairs and a Jungle Adventure table. This is that plant that you will see so many times in the next 2 weeks, and I'm not even going to apologize for it because it's beautiful. This is a beautiful space. So the second that I placed these Wedding Story curtains, these blue curtains, blue really started to come into the build. So navy was very important to me. So colors like navy, orange, reds and yellows and warm tones, and it just absolutely just led that way. And this is such a beautiful space. So this rug actually was a very much standout. So it's interesting how like each section of this living area is like a different themed color. Like the living room is very orange, and then the kitchen is like orange and blue. And then the living room is just navy, and it's just, I love it so much. But we do pull a bit of the blue on this side because I did realize that I I'd made it really orange and not enough blue. So we add in a nice little reading nook, and then I've got a buffet table over here with, I think, just a painting and maybe some clutter pieces. Yeah, I love that plant. It's so good. And I did just put in like a toy box just to kind of emulate that it is a communal space. All right, so we're in the bathroom. So I thought let's do a built-in shower because we did have a large bathroom in this build. It is the only bathroom in the home. So how I've done that is I've drawn a square box, lowered the foundation, and then added in some black windows to kind of look like it's a shower, like it's the glass of the shower. And yeah, we do put in a tub as well because, I mean, I have not made room for toddlers and what have you, but you could, if you were to take over this house, you could definitely change up the rooms to your liking. And I didn't use the same curtains. So I used different curtains all around the build. And I think that's important because it kind of creates different vibes in the spaces. So this is that skill room. So this was kind of like, okay, it's got a yoga mat, it's got a little bit of fitness. We used some of that clutter from the everyday clutter kit. I thought that was really good. We went in with an easel, put some music and some meditation. So this is like a wellness kind of, it's like a wellness room. I don't know. That's what I'm labeling it as. And then we go into the office. So these navy curtains I use in all of like the main living areas. But then I use the ones in the bathroom. I think I use those ones in the bathroom and the kids' room, teen room. But anyway, we are in the office. This is just navy. This is a beautiful space. I really love those lamps. I think I use that desk lamp in a couple of the rooms. This plant is amazing. It's just massive. So I sized it down and I just put it to the side of the desk. The way I did the desk was I've obviously put it on a diagonal. I think it just looks inviting when you come into the space. And then I went in with these shelvings. I had the worst time trying to decorate these shelvings. So unfortunately, they're not cluttered as I'd like them to be, but that's okay. We've gone in with a painting. I thought that striking blue-orange painting worked really well. Kind of also brings in the colors from the rest of the build. And that's important. Hallways I always struggle with hallways. I never know what to do. I loved this hutch from Jungle Adventure, this hutch that we're seeing here. It's beautiful. So I just alt placed some books, put a bit of knitting, and I do put a chair, and we went in with just some clutter pieces. I love these giraffes. They are so good. They are from Decor to the Max kit. I just think it's such a beautiful piece. They do run a little bit more contemporary, but they also fit in this build, and I think because obviously the theme. I have never seen this buffet table, but it is the best buffet table for this build. This to me is the only thing that really fits the brief. I'm really happy with that. And then I decided to put some objects for a cat in my recent LP with Myra that we've been following over on Twitch. I stream every day over on Twitch. And Myra has a cat and Dilbert is making me a cat person slowly. All right, this is that twin boys room. So it has everything you need. It's very much reds, oranges, and like, I've gone in with like a greenish, kind of like a teal wallpaper to kind of match that rug. I didn't want to go with red. I thought it would be a bit too much. All right, so moving along, we are in the girls' teen room. This is a beautiful space. So this is just that beige kind of tone. We went in with a little bit of the pastel pop kit with the bedside tables. Yes, guys, I caved and I bought the pastel pop kit. Very girly. I really loved this perfect patio stuff. Kind of like an ottoman. It's beautiful in here. I love the textures. Wanted to keep it very boho. This is the desk from that for pastel pop kit. And I'm obsessed with it. I love the tone. I love the size of it even. Like it's such a nice desk. And we've gone in with a little computer that was part of there. The chair is from there. And I just made it like a super like girly space. I really love this Jungle Adventure mirror. I think it's amazing. And just some like makeup and some clutter. We do just put some posters and some paintings. Just make it like a really super girly space. And we went in with some vampires pack wallpaper. And I did this because of the color. The color was spot on to the kind of the comforter on the bed, and I wanted to go with that. And then we kind of go left field. So this is the male teens bedroom, and it's all of a sudden modern. I just think it's beautiful. I just feel like this is kind of a room where I used a lot of those reds and golds and blacks, and it just looks very masculine in here. But it looks very modern, and I think that that's okay because I feel like when you have children, they're going to have different styles, and it kind of plays more for their personality. I did use those one of those bedside table lamps to kind of fit the vibe of the house. That was my way to pay homage to the house. But I do feel that this is very much his personal space and his personal design. I love this wallpaper from Decor to the Max. We use it in the male's room and then also in the master bedroom, which we are about to move into. And I went yellow. I went sunny yellow and very pale and kind of airy. And this is a beautiful room. This is my favorite room of the house. I know, guys. I know that kitchen was hard to beat, but I honestly think this is such a beautiful place. We've gone in with a lot of yellow, a lot of light wood tones. I am obsessed with this rug from Strangerville. You guys know I am obsessed with how the browns mix well with the yellow. We've gone in with a painting and a mirror. This was part of the Desert Luxe kit, that buffet table. And we've gone in with the same wallpaper from the teens room, but with a yellow shade. And I think it's such a beautiful space. Alrighty, so we are in the outside for the decorating. And this is a nice little sweet space. I just wanted something that was kind of communal. So we've moved the hot tub over to this corner and I've put in those perfect patio stuff chairs. I thought that was really sweet with an umbrella because it does get warm, even though I gave him a hot tub. These wedding story couches are beautiful. I was obsessed. They're probably not really Spanish, but I loved the color of the orange. I thought it was perfect. It matched the build. Alrighty, we are live in game for the tour. So let's just go through the home. This is the landscaping. It's very simple out here. I thought this was a nice piece. This is a debug piece. Just gives a little bit of extra texture to the front of the garden. These lavenders are beautiful. Let's go around the back. And as you can see, this was that large kind of garden bed where we mixed the pink flowers with these kind of yellow-white flowers. I think it looks okay. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think of that. And then again, we've gone very yellow over here. It's interesting how it's sectioned. So it's very yellow, matches with the shade awning, hot tub, a nice little entertainment space. We then go around to the courtyard. I'm obsessed with this. We have a little space for the cat, a little cat tree, just some little seating, and then these from the wedding stories, these couches are beautiful. I love them. Love, love, love. All right, so let's get into the home. So you enter through obviously this entryway. I could have put some decorations in here, but I didn't. I think it didn't need it. So we walk in and then we have this entry. I think it's beautiful. It's just simply decorated. We've got some knitting, which is a bit of gameplay, which is really nice. We then walk through this main archway into our living space, and right away you just get a combination of colors off the bat. You get some blues, you get some oranges and yellows, but it kind of all works. I really, really enjoy this space. Standout room, obviously, like the kitchen. This is beautiful. I'm really proud of this kitchen. I really think the backsplash as well with this type of counters, and I just use a lot of different packs, and I think it's just so pretty. Okay, we've got the tea set. That's important. This is a beautiful dining room. I think it's gorgeous. I really loved these Wedding Stories chairs and how they interacted with the Jungle Adventure game pack. That's what I'm trying to say. Beautiful little space. A small kind of living room, but that's all you really need. I think it's really good. I am obsessed with these little chairs from Jungle Adventure. I think they're beautiful. I really love the position of the cushion. I know that's very weird, but as a builder, I get excited over weird things. As I said, this buffet table was perfect for this style of build. And then just some pet objects. All right, and then this is obviously the back door. So let's head down the hall. Okay, so this is our bathroom. So we've got the bathroom, we've got the built-in shower, we've got a tub and everything that we need. And then we've got another cat tree here. We've got the main office. We've got the main office, just a bit of clutter items. As I said, I loved this painting. It was perfect. It kind of married the blue with the orange. This is the like wellness room, I guess. Just got some more skill building in here. Very sweet space. As I said, you could make this a bathroom, but because it's such in close proximity to the actual bathroom, I didn't, but it probably would make sense for your gameplay to do this. Alrighty, let's go through the bedroom. So we've got our kids' bedroom. This is a lovely space, just like a twin boys room. I've made it for like a boy sim, but it could just be neutral. And let's go through the teens room. So this is that very kind of modern boys teen room. I think this is a beautiful space. Really love the colors, the golds and the reds and The wallpaper just makes this room. This is giving me like a little bit of even like Get Famous vibes, which I love. And then we go to like his sister's room, which is like totally different. Again, this is so girly and boho and just absolutely, we use a lot of the pastel pop kit in here. Just an absolutely solid space. Really pretty. Really pretty. And then we go to my favorite room of the house, which is the master bedroom. I am obsessed. I love how the yellow interacts with this rug. I think it's beautiful in here. And I really love this painting. I think that it brings in a lot of the colors from the house and a lot of textures. This kind of buffet piece kind of looked a little bit like pottery, which reminded me very much of like all of the stone pots that we have around the house, which is really good. I went with a little bit of a grand dresser. I felt that this looked a little bit more presentable, and a pet bed because there's a cat in this build, in this home, in this build, in this home, and a fancy bed. Alrighty, and we've gone through the back. That is today's build, guys. I hope you enjoyed this home as much as I enjoyed building it. And please let me know in the comment section down below if you think that I meet the criteria of a Mediterranean home. It's not something I build all the time, but it's definitely something that I would be looking to build more of. I had the most fun time. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.